Chosen ones. I'm going to go ahead and read this real quick. It's Proverbs 10:4 and 10 slash 5. 10:4/5. TLB. Proverbs. This is from the Bible. I just had to come to y'all because I promise y'all I was doing some internal journaling, like in my notes, just writing to myself. And before I even get to that, I could read to y'all some of the stuff I said, family. But it was crazy because I'm like, bro, like I'm laying in bed. It's going on 5 o'clock. I've been in my room all day. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I haven't been doing little things, but people what the topic matter is right here. When I'm writing to myself, I said, and I'm telling you, I be catching how I'm feeling in the present moment, and I just be facing it with words, because actions come after words. Think about a kid being raised by their father. You know what I'm saying? He see the example. We see examples. I got mentors. I got people I watch, but I still don't feel like him. And it ain't that I gotta feel like him, but I gotta feel up to speed. You understand? Like, let me put it like this. And you don't always have to fit in, because I'm not like, I don't tell everybody to fit in, but it's more so like you got to keep up with your, not even with your age group, but it's just like kind of, you dig what I'm saying? Like, God wouldn't want a kid to work as hard as an adult. Like, even during slavery or whatever, you wouldn't put a kid working as hard as a grown man. But let me read this real quick. I said, you can set the time to do a thing, but the thing still feels hard to you. Because I set schedules for myself, and it still sometimes gets off. I said it still feels hard to get to. Because honestly, I think that even when you realize what I want to do, that you think you have the option, right? See, I'm attacking that crevice right there that I pick up about myself. And I could kind of read it because I got more words. I've learned the dictionary. I've learned how to like touch words that feel more suitable for what I'm trying to express. So I found by digging with the journaling that I be feeling like I have the option, right? And it's just that simple sometimes. It's not even nothing too, it go deeper. Like, yeah, I was raised by a woman, and she never made me do chores, and yeah, I'm pretty sure there's something in the dark locker room of my, childhood that only I know, but I'm not looking at. But even me saying the fact I'm peeling it back right now, and it's like an onion. You dig what I'm saying? Because it is like therapy session. It starts to feel like that, but it's cool. But look at what I said. I said you start to think that you have the option, and because you think you have the option, is the aspect that makes things not monolith. Um, think that mean hard. So make things hard because no one's looking, right? Like, I'm talking to the viewers right now. Like, when I was just laying down watching what I was watching, and I might have ate something that I wasn't supposed to eat, drunk something I wasn't. Look, nobody watching. My body know, you feel me? You dig what I'm saying? I know, but who am I? I'm in my body every day. Like, I'm nobody, right? I'm just feeling like comfort, you know what I'm saying? And comfort kills. So, like, it's my job to shake up that bag, right? Shake up the candy bag. Like, I don't like what I see going on. Let me shake up the bag so I could grab the good candy. And that's how kind of the day is. It's like, it's 5 p.m. already. Like, and I'm tired because my sleep schedule is different than y'all's. But I'm just saying, like, I had the journaling shook up the bag of candy so I can actually see at the top. Like, I had to make what I'm going through rise to the surface, because sometimes it can feel like you're in this big ocean of nothingness and you don't even know the words to title or to put to match what you're feeling at that moment. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm doing it. I said, because no one's looking. And if you don't feel up to doing the thing you said, then you have to take initiative to face the tough time. Now peep this. I go on to the next paragraph. That's crazy because that's a moment where the rubber hits the road. And you have to be a strong man or woman in a way that is foreign to you. You know, you dig what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like I used to get up and go to school, or I used to have to go to basketball practice. And a lot of the time I didn't want to go to basketball practice. But like, you know, I got cousins who used to play football. I know it was plenty times they probably didn't want to do that. So I'm just saying, like, those times did build some type of like, okay, you don't always gotta feel like doing what you're doing, but I'm removed from it. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I ain't played basketball in years. I ain't went to school in years. Um, and as I've grown older, ironically, life has been more fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if y'all feel that way too, but us new generation, you know what I'm saying? Like we got Instagram now, we got YouTube now. Everybody getting the bag off of different stuff, Twitch, streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like money come directly to you. Like it ain't no longer if you want to be a rapper. Like I was watching the interview. They're like, you don't gotta like get rejected by 1,000 people and rap battle somebody in front of Jay-Z and he'll call you back to the office a couple weeks. It ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? You go find a beat on YouTube, you make a channel, you drop a song. You dig what I'm saying? And you keep pushing the mark. And it's like eventually you're gonna be somebody. You ain't gonna just be just anybody if you really, you know what I'm saying, face that thunder. But that's what I'm talking about in this next sentence. I said you have to be a strong man in that way or a woman. Because it feels foreign to you. And that causes a threat because I don't know how to face that thunder. Right. So I feel a certain threat when the rubber hits the road in that tough time where it's time to take initiative, where I'm looking at what it is I need to do. It's right in front of me. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing this right now. And what I'm supposed to be doing is something that it almost psychologically feels like it has nothing to do or it's going against what I'm feeling right now. So I'm laying down, I'm watching YouTube, I'm in this like cuddly, fuzzy place. And even though I'm learning some real man stuff, probably, or I'm learning some real deep stuff, or it's like I'm soaking in still. I'm still in the cocoon, but I'm still soaking in good nutrients. But it's like, who cares? By the time you go to sleep and wake up, you ain't going, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no longer there. That flame has kind of stoked. You dig what I'm saying? When you went to sleep, you woke up, the flame has kind of stoked from what you was listening to beforehand. And this video is just a video about laziness, and I'm kind of kicking it on how you could really overcome that, but with like self-talk and journaling. But in the next paragraph, I said the wiggle room that you feel is okay. Um, when you have to be a strong man and it feels foreign to you, what you tell yourself I have to do. Um, when the rubber hits the road and you don't feel like doing it, um, in a way that feels foreign to you and that causes a threat like feeling, it is real subtle, so you might not even notice it. Like, that's what make YouTube so funny. Like, I remember, like, I've been watching YouTube for years, so I watch mad and consume mad content. And what's funny is that some people are sending, like right now I'm sending y'all a message, like I'm talking, but I'm coming from a certain texture. I don't know if y'all could get that. Let me explain that. The more of a intuitive and in tune with myself I become, it's either going to be that I'm going to be easier for a certain type of person to understand where I'm coming from, or it's going to become way more abstract for somebody, because all humans are different frequencies. So I might be kicking something that's the realest stuff in the world, but it may only hit whoever it's supposed to hit. And so we got to even disconnect from that, feeling like everybody got to hear, my words aren't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that being over 18 needs to teach you. Like it's a community for people. For me, it's a crowd of people who gonna crowd in. It's a and stop worrying about what I'm saying, like who you losing. Like you ain't losing nobody if you really believe in God. You ain't losing nobody if you really standing on principle. Like if you really standing on or really trying to be the best version of yourself, then how can you lose anything? You dig what I'm saying? Like that psychology is off, because I understand it, because I definitely felt like that at one point, but it hit me along my journey. Like, bro, I would go on Facebook and like market my channel and stuff like that, and I still ain't against it. You dig what I'm saying? And I love marketing, and I would always market myself, probably like in different ways. But it hit me like, bro, the reason why things feel funny, because people not really watching your videos. You're telling them to check out my video, and then they check it out. They might subscribe to please you, or to trade attention with each other, which is okay. I'm not anti that at all. But I found within the latter years that, you know what, I'm not really trying to do that as much. And I've been kind of knew that, because I had a channel before this channel, and I tried to do that a little bit, da da da. But I found like, bro, that's good. It's like training wheels. You dig what I'm saying? Because someone told me early on YouTube, like, don't do sub for sub, don't do this for that. And I'm like, okay, you're talking to someone though who been here before. I had another channel, and you're talking to somebody who's seen one of my top watching YouTube people that I think is a really good YouTuber. Um, I seen him on Facebook doing it too, like one day, and I'm like, wow, this guy already got mad subscribers, and he's still doing this. And I also learned marketing from the baby, and from my mentor too. A couple different people talk about marketing. I'm not the best at it, but I do it here and there. So Facebook will be one of the ways where I will market my channel and just bring a little bit more views, a little bit more attention, right? But I found like, yeah, there is an element to where you're marketing too much, a certain percentage, but you're not cranking out the proper videos, and you're not cranking out the right amount, and you're not doing just this. Don't worry about what people gonna think about you. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing right now that I need to do to bring me 1 inch closer to the finish line? Like, and you don't even know, because like this morning I had to set goals for myself. I'm like, bro, I got daily things I do, right? But I had to really get in there and say, what are my goals for each month? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are my goals? Because I noticed that, like I told you about texture, if I'm only doing the weekly thing, then it's like I'm not pulled back enough from, and I'm too close and engulfed in. But if you want to pull yourself back and have more room, you know what I'm saying? You want to have more room. So you want to create these monthly uh, things for yourself too. So like you might want to think about like what you want to do, health goals for the month, or what you want to do, friend goals, or you know what I'm saying? Just any type of goals you got. It's good to also set monthly goals and yearly if you can. But when you get to that level, it's different, because you're no longer playing chess on one level. You're no longer playing YouTube or life or whatever you love to do on one level. Because like I said, if I'm setting a monthly goal, it changes the game, because a lot of things we do out of lack, right? But that lack is a facade, because the same lack that I had today is not going to be the same lack I'm gonna have tomorrow. So how is it real if it's changeable? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not real. It's just a facade that I've lived out of for so long. And the same thing with what I said about the lack of motivation and laziness and all these things that your cells in your body have grown to know, or to think, or to feel, or to relate to. You're not lazy. Your body and your mind are kind of like trained in that way to lose. Like you could be a knowledgeable man and still lose because your body is just, your body is you're not focusing on what you should do today. Like I said, like sometimes you're looking too far and sometimes you're looking too close, and you want to find that 50% line. Excuse me. 50% line where it's like, yo, okay, scoping. You like a scoper. You want to scope. You want to pull in and see, and you want to pull out. You don't really want to get caught too close to or too far away. And I'm gonna keep talking real quick on this, and then I'm gonna tell you about that verse in the Bible. So the wiggle room that you feel is okay, because like I said, when you face that thunder that you're gonna feel, it's easy to feel like I'm wrong, like I'm the bad person because I feel lazy, and the whole world is gonna know and read my mind all at this one moment in time and know that I'm like trapped in this laze maze of like not being an adequate man and just like drowning in like not being manly at all and just being so soft. And all of my subscribers could read my mind and say, "Oh, he didn't post today," and it's like your channel's gonna start to fall down this algorithm maze of like losing, and like you said, like I said, like cheese grading off my subscribers. You know what I'm saying, day by day, and it's like, bro, like when you hit a certain amount of subscribers, you hit a certain amount of subscribers. Now, yes, that number can fluctuate, like I just said before. It can fluctuate, but should you even attach any emotion to that? That's the psyche, you know, matter right there. Like, should I even care? Because if I'm posting, I mean, if I just focus on posting my next video simply, I might lose 2 subscribers, but I might gain 1,000 views. So, which one is more the matter? Should I focus on, right? But you got to be present to even weigh that like that and look at that without being attached or feeling anything. See, most people get played because they're in their feelings. And I'm trying to talk about how you can, it's 555 right now. I'm trying to talk about how you cannot be in your feelings and you could just skip out on that because you got to do that to win. So you're going to feel some wiggle room that you feel. It's okay. Don't think that it's offensive or an impossibility. Take this moment to acknowledge how much you feel unable to stick to your own set things. That you can start off with at least a better look. Hey, I'm not that good. At least that's for a lot of people, that's more of a self bash. But for me, that's a self realignment, right? Like when you go to church, God ain't gonna say you're good because you smoked that cigarette. He's gonna realign you to get you to look at yourself. But some people, and including everybody and myself, when you look at your flaw, yeah, without that's why journaling is so important. Because when you look at it, it's so easy for your ego or your emotions to just kind of flood in or come in and just the mask, like it's like a sticky mask that just like, no, you're not bad, you're just okay. Or to say anything to get you to sleep on your own self. But you have to really face this. And what I'm saying is, hey, I'm not that good. I know that. That's why I'm making this video. I was laying down, it hit me like, bro, you're not that good at, and that's saying bashing yourself is realigning you and realizing like it's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people out here that's really uh better at this than you. There's a lot of people out here that, and that's fine. It's necessary for me to know that. It's necessary because it feels good. Sometimes I feel pain, and I know it's pain that's not like it's pain of failure. Like you just ate some crap. That's pain of failure. But then there's this pain that I'm talking about right now. It's pain of change. It's pain of development. It's pain of awareness and seeing what you have never seen, and the old snakeskin falling off type of pain. Pain of perspectives. Um, I said in the very next sentence, being able to see that distance can cause eyesight. That eyesight can cause manhood or womanhood, because what you see is the difference between the level up. You see that gap that is invisible when you're not doing shadow work or journaling. When you're doing shadow work or journaling, you can see gaps. These gaps that are energetically there or psychologically there. It's like a gap between me and my motivation. And it's like I scoped it, I pull myself in and I'm looking through it like, wow. You know, we have energetic fields, like crops, a farmer with crops. And some animals come around the crops and they eat your crops. Only difference is if you've been living in a field that's always been abused or just messed with, you really don't feel like, you don't really relate to the feeling of having a fresh, rich farm, emotional crops. You don't feel like, you don't know what that feel like. So that's why I'm saying, even when you're doing the right thing, you may touch pain, because you might be like, bro, I just feel crazy. I don't feel right. By winning, even when you're winning, you can feel, away. So I'm about to end this video, but I'm gonna keep going real quick. I said, so the eyesight can cause manhood or womanhood, because what you see is the difference between the level up. And when you can close the gap between the two, then you have fixed a part of you that you hadn't even known or realized was off before. Now your attention is on the thing, and you can begin to set up an action plan to begin to chisel away or work on that thing. And I'm saying you're working on something you really couldn't even really grasp. Like, it's things that I grasp new every day when I'm journaling, because when you're journaling, what you're really doing is bringing the invisible to visible, because it was already there trying to manifest, but it was just, it's like your laziness, like I said, is a facade. But without you acknowledging it, it's just gonna breadcrumb you laziness. It's never gonna just make you a full-blown lazy person, but it's gonna just it's gonna do just enough to stop you from getting rich, or to stop you from getting a car. It's gonna do exactly that. And that's just how the universe works. Like, it's gonna drop you just where you don't want to be. And doing this daily, or I don't do monthly journaling. I do like every other day. And that just brings you, like I said, it brings you, like, life has got a stronghold on you. And the more you journal, you're doing like loosening it up, and it's bringing you away. And the more you can create that distance from it, you can take your psychological mind and kind of look back at what you see. And you see these scripts and these lines of what you wrote when you were feeling off balance or annoyed or frustrated, or like, yo, I hate laziness and why do I do this? Then you look back at the scripts that you wrote to yourself, and you see it. Oh, you could kind of measure in there by looking and be like, okay, this is like poison. But I'm looking at it logically this time for the first time in my life, instead of being frustrated that this is what I'm doing. When you get frustrated, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, when it's invisible to you and it's in your emotional field, it's more frustrating you and keeping you stuck in it. But when you pull yourself away and you're looking at it and the words that you wrote, it's nothing but logic, baby. And you looking at it, you thinking to yourself, okay, cool. Yeah, I did do that. I did do that. And it took the emotionality away from it. So now I have nothing but 100% brain power and looking at that. And I'm like, okay, so, but that feeds into the next thing, because even when you get to that okay, so point and you're looking at it, it can feel like a gap of time where you're just staring at that, and that can give enough time for your mind, your crooked mind, to start to work again and bring up something like, you can't go too long without some type of feeling and type of, that's the way our conditioning trained us. Like, if you're away from your emotions for 24 hours, like the sun is going to blow up or something. Like, nah, it's just that you're gonna finally be a man or a woman, and the universe ain't ready for that, because that's like something that you just wasn't really operating on that level for so long. So you could grow but be declining in many different ways. And so that's really what, a sleight of hand of the devil. It's a sleight of hand. So peep this. So you could create an action plan now, because you wrote down while you were laying down and feeling defeated, uh, about it, feeling defeated. And you can, after you're done, reading your self-talk journal, and you could pick out certain little pieces and say, okay, I don't like this. I see why I'm doing that. Da 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 da. And what you're doing when you're like reviewing it is you're coming up with an answer that feel more fit. See, when you going through it without journaling, you can't really come up with nothing that feel fit. And that's why you keep losing, because you're not coming up with a clear plan that feels like it fits into who you really are. And it's important for things to fit into who you really are. Like when I talk about making friends, I found that, hey, it's not that you ever was bad at it at all. What it really is that you have to set it up to where it fits you, because you might get somebody number and y'all chatting, talking, but you don't got a car, and you don't really, you vlog every day, but you're not ready to go to the gym like that with nobody. You might not be ready. But then you also want to journal on why you're not. I mean, when I'm talking to y'all about journaling, I'm just basically saying you want to journal about every little crevice of your life, because you also want to see why you ain't ready. You want to see why you ain't ready. You want to see how I could get ready. What am I going to do in the situation? Like, you want to just have that self-talk, because it's something that our parents don't teach us. But it's something that is so vital in the longevity and just everything that you're doing, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You have to do this, because you got to be insightful. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, things just going to get, it's easy for our lives to get swayed and just brushed into and swept into this weird place if you don't stand up for yourself. Against yourself, not against other people, but against yourself, because that's really where the power is. It's like, people don't really be trying to mess with you. They be trying to see what type of person, if you really brave. But you not brave. The journaling helps you to understand you're not brave, because most people, it's impossible to, oh, I'm not brave. You know, it's not impossible to say that, but most guys, especially men, we not about to say nothing like that, bro. Like, being brave, but that keeps you not brave. You see the catch 22? It keeps you there. I mean, this is the first time in life away from your coddling mom where life is 100% brutal with you. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm proud of myself, and I'm happy, and I feel like a successor just being able to look at that, because I just know how much people they're not going to be able to see it. And when you see it, like, like I said, it's easy for shame or guilt to come back up or whatever you feeling. But you really want to just even journal about that? Because it's nothing journaling can't get you to take a new perspective on. Even if that new perspective, because the thing that's beautiful about perspective, they say is power in the perspective. It really is. And let me tell you what type of power, because I don't think y'all gonna understand, because I didn't. I'm just seeing it this new way right now. Sometimes I be going crazy, and I'm like in a good way, and I start to realize, like, bro, you touching on stuff you just realizing, you evolving while you teaching. But I thought, I heard someone say power in the perspective a while ago, maybe 3 months ago. But now I'm really seeing it, because what it really means is that we're all, forget gender, we're all people on a rock. And woman or man, friend or foe, if you come around me, I have not 99% uh, the right to have my own perspective. I have 100% of the right to have my own perspective. Now, I do a lot of therapy, so that's why I'm going to be a little bit more Heidi with that statement than someone else. Because the older me would have been like, well, I don't know, maybe I could speak my mind, but I know people are going to debate, because that's how you be feeling. But the power is in your perspective, so you already lost if you don't own the fact that, hey, you could tell me the sky is blue 50 times. But if I think it's orange, my guy, that's exactly what I'm going to stick up for. And not only am I going to stick up for it, but I'm going to back it up with information and data, even if it's wrong. And that's the part that makes you. That's the part that makes you and human. And that's the part where it's power in it. Because like I said, there's no such thing as a judge on earth. I don't know if y'all hear me when I'm saying that, because most people are sitting around scared of what people think, but YouTube exposes it. The more you do YouTube, is going to expose it, because at the end of the day, it's called YouTube. It's a tube. It's a tube of you. It's a tube of you. It's not a tube of, and it's almost like you're spending more time by yourself. So it is a form of journaling and expression too. And it's your own platform. It's your own movie. It's your own dialogue, bro. It's like going into a diary and lying in the diary. Like, why would you lie in a diary when you're the one who's gonna read it back? And it's you. Is what you're. This is your legacy to yourself. Like, and I'm not even saying people aren't eavesdropping and listening in and watching your videos and paying you extra amount of attention. But that even can be journaled about, because guess what? They're eavesdropping. Cool. Okay, cool. But they're doing it because they think I'm the type of person that's going to get offended or care that they're eavesdropping. So even that could therapeutically be solved by me leveling up how I feel about people eavesdropping. Does that mean I'm just trying to show y'all where the bravery is? Because bravery, most people got the perspective of bravery or even motivation or anything as it being you actually being brave. But most people, is not even that. You're just either weak or you're strong in the situation. Like, at one point, I thought talking to women took bravery. But when I was younger, I kind of did think it was some women sometimes. But what I'm saying ultimately is that there's a little bit of bravery that comes with life. Yes, it's a percentage. Facing your fears and whatnot. But not really. Because when you solve your childhood issues and whatever your traumas, it's way easier to just do something that you wouldn't have done in the first place. So if that's the case, then the trick's on you, because you're not living you're not living in your healthiest self. And you're taking that as life, while other people are living in their healthy self and they're taking that as life. And you're trying to say that you're living life. You are living life, but you're living life in that one realm. But each time you do that, you're abandoning what, 5, 7 other realms that you could be in at that same moment in time. So when a crowd of people laugh at you and you get nervous and worried about that, fine. You know what I'm saying? You're soft and that's how it is. And it's being exposed right now because your voice is cracking and people are laughing at you. But only way I'm going to say fine is if you know that in another reality or in another, in the same lifetime, but if you took on a different perspective, this is power in your perspective or subjectivity, you would have just laughed with them at you and then changed the topic quickly because you had a proper perspective, a healthy one. And that would have broke whatever slavery was about to go down to you. Um, a lot of people, we die from our, I think God said we die from a lack of knowledge. We die from a lack of the ability to see, and accept what we see. If we do that often and make it a habit, is this really what I'm trying to say in this whole video? Motivation for us just ain't a habit. It ain't a habit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all be seeing me be uh y'all be seeing me be consistent. And y'all be seeing me sometimes fall a little bit off and then come a little bit back. So we all kind of like swimming and fishing for that motivation that never is challenged. But that's not even a realistic expectation. And if you had a therapist, you would know that that's not realistic. And so, like, a better life is just taking on not only new perspectives, but your ability to experiment got to go up. Like your willingness to experiment, like, okay, let me see how this work on my schedule. Let me see how this fit into my life. Let me see. You got to get more flexible with how you deal with life and what you'll put on your schedule and try out without going out of your comfort zone, because you really don't got to go out of your comfort zone for you to have a good life. I think that's a misconception too. Like you could stay right in your house and create everything from the crib. And I don't see rich YouTubers say this. I don't see people who blew up on it. They all say like, because it's true. Like most people, they either fishing too far or they fishing too soft. Like and they staying in one spot or they going trying to figure. Nah, it's like it's a constance. It's consistent. It's a consistency that you got to build and a frequency, and it could happen anywhere. You could be in jail and just figure it out because it's how you see. It's your perspective. It's literally your perspective. And like I said, man, like let me go to this real quick before I go. And I said maybe next time you'll want to have a self-talk timer when you make that plan of action, because that's important. Whenever you journal and you figure out what's your weaknesses and how it's kind of, because as soon as you figure out exactly what it really is, it'll kind of ease up. You know what I'm saying? It'll kind of ease up. It's like braided, but it'll kind of like hair when someone's combing it out and unbraiding it, it'll kind of like start to puff up. That's kind of how whatever emotion you attach to you not being motivated, it'll start to come to the surface and rise out. And then you'll look at it differently. You'll be like, oh, this is really something I feel like I could take on. I don't got to just be a victim to being lazy. I could kind of face that. But most people are going to stop there. But the last level will be to come up with an action plan. Uh, Maybe it could be like I said, a mantra. I said right here, I said, Maybe next time you'll want to have a self-talk timer, meaning I'm saying to myself, I'm laying on my bed, right? It's time to make a video, but I'm laying out. And I'm like, I don't want nobody to see me right now. I feel like, man, nobody needs to see me right now. I'm in the comfort of my own home, my own zone. But I know I want to make a video. I know I'm supposed to make a video to myself. I promised myself I was going to do it. And then all of a sudden, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so what was that? Oh, well, yeah, I told myself I had an action timer. And so at least I gave myself, uh, I want to say like a front. I don't really understand. I don't really know if that's the proper word for that, but I gave myself something. Sometimes that's all it takes. Because it doesn't even mean I'm a live up to it for real, for real. And that's one thing I also be, accepting. It doesn't even mean I'm gonna live up to it. See, that's the part I like about life. Like, it's tricky because I gave myself substance. I gave myself some extent. I gave myself, uh, like, I created something, a creature that I can call on. My timer, right? Uh, and it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Doesn't even mean I'm gonna really act on it or care in that day or live up to it. But even me knowing that I don't have to follow through with it, it gives me some freedom. Like, I don't have to live up to that. So even if I fell at it or don't, I still won because I created it. That's phase one. All I do is create that. But I also know deep down, if I create that, and then I start to continually, keyword continually, uh, push it off or push it away or let it go or whatever, walk away, back off from it, quit it. As an adult, and I guess this goes to the therapist talk about the inner child and the inner adult. This would be the inner adult phase side of me, where I'm like, yo, you told yourself you was gonna do this, bro. And the question I would bear to myself if I caught myself letting it go, hey, yo, I'm talking to myself, how many times is you gonna let that happen? And putting another number on that. See, we gotta start to put labels and names to things, bro. That's what really make it emotionally balanced. Because we're not supposed to be emotional people, but that's what they tell us. I don't even believe that all the time. But we are, and we all have emotions. But the key isn't to say, "Oh, I'm a man. I learned this the hard way." "Oh, I'm a man. I don't got no emotions, bro." Because that created a monster out of me, bro. But it is cool to do and is healthy to do is to say I do got emotions. My emotions been played with in this system, in this world, and it's kind of corrupted at this point. Anything unlooked after will become spoiled and wrecked and rotten. So my emotions are rotten right now. And they're in a phase, in a time period where they're going to go in a they're like an inner child or they're going to go in a way where without my supervision, they're going to do just like kids. It's going to touch the electric cord because it's been trained since very early to be free with just letting things happen. Like, oh, you feel lazy? Well, take a rest. Oh, you feel this way? Well, go do this. Oh, you hungry? Well, go feed your stomach. You know what I'm saying? It's so one dimensional. It's so flat. It's so easy and weak, right? But my mind got to be the mind that's thinking on higher dimensions to see it from a bird's eye view and put and attach um, more meaning to it, more color to it, more details to it, because it's the details that I put on it that make it more important to me to do it. So uh, maybe next time you'll want to have a self-talk timer that helps you mentally. Certain mantras you speak to self, you help uh, to help you to rise in the moment, because the moment is what matters really. Like the moment matters a lot of the time. And in the moment where you feel lazy, you'll tell yourself otherwise, that it don't matter. How many times you gonna do that? And that's all I'm trying to ask right now, because this is a self-fulfilling question that you got the right to tell yourself. All right, so within the next month, how many times am I gonna allow myself to not do this, whatever it is I'm telling me to do? Right? If you say within the next year, that may be too far for you to predict. But in the next month, which is 4 weeks, how many times am I going to give the devil that room? And how much times am I going to allow myself to not do what it is I'm telling myself that I should do every day? Or if I'm going to miss one day, cool. If I'm going to miss 2 days, cool. But beyond two, I feel like, honestly, me speaking right now, for everybody out there, I don't care what you do and whatever. I feel like if you miss one day, that's fine. I feel like if you miss 2 days, you better get up on that third day. I just feel like that. I don't know if that's the perfect number or not, whatever, but I just honestly feel like that's when you're going into another phase. But, you got to even have a plan for that. What if you go to plan to day two, you miss day one, and you go to day two and you don't post again? It might happen. And if it does, what you gonna do about it? Because life is a way that it has the ability to really do exactly to you what you telling yourself that you wish for not to happen. So as soon as you make the plan that I wanna, I'm gonna do this, life got a way too crafty way of just tricking that out of your control. So every time humans feel like they gain control, it's like pseudo control. It's fake control. And I learned that, you learn that as you grow with life. You learn like I can't control everything, and I'm not even about to try. But I'm definitely gonna control a percentage. Without a shadow of a doubt, I'm gonna control what I can control plus more. You know what I'm saying? So this is a battle, as y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think journaling is something weak or soft or a diary, and I always thought that, but nah, it's completely something else. And it's literally self-talk. That's all it is, self-talk written down. Because if you don't write it down, then it just has a way of, like I said, that crafty manner of, one, you're not going to get into the words and learn how to use different words. And two, you're not just going to understand the value of words. You know what I'm saying? And how important they are and how they can actually heal or kill and still and destroy and also give and build and other things. Like it's just, it's a beautiful thing. So, and a lot of y'all want to talk to women out there. This is a major thing, because once you learn how to use words, you not even focusing on her beauty no more. You focus on what I need to say, what I need to do, and not even what I need to do, but what feels right for me. A lot of it is like what feels right for me that she can eat off of this tree of me being myself. Like what can I say that's just gonna be just right for me? Even if I lose her and she don't want to mess with me because I don't care. You shouldn't care. You shouldn't care. And you shouldn't be fake. It should be honestly not caring. Honestly not caring. And like I said, a lot of people out here, they need work. They need work. They need to work on themselves every day. So even missing one day could really be like a minor setback, but it could be just more for you than for the next person. So you got to be careful. Where before you would have just laid there hopeless with no tools in your toolbox. See, we must rise because we say we want things, but the action is the true defying matter. The words are good, but the actions are the distinguishing factor. So right now, a lot of people see me talking. I'm just another YouTuber making another video, saying a bunch of words, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like in this whole video, is like you even get this weird feeling in your gut of like, bro, how can I be different, bro? I don't want to be. The ego could even get you that way. I don't want to just be just another YouTuber. Now you feel, you see another devilish thought of like, dang, bro, how, and you feel like you're just doing another video. It becomes feeling like a job now and boring. But no, 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 no. This is what journaling is all about. It's about correcting what you see. Even if what you see is accurate, it's like I still don't gotta take on the emotionality of that because I could freeze time and not take that emotions with me. I could look at the situation that I see and swap out what I'm feeling. And I could say, well, either I don't want to feel anything or I want to choose a positive emotion. And you can't do that in the present moment. You got to be journaling or doing something like that to actually be in tune with your emotions and what's going on inside of you and all around you, because I'm just saying the importance of journaling, you know what I'm saying, and motivation and being able to see what is unseeable, because your lack of motivation could come from anything. It could be from food, it could be from your environment, and typically it's from you getting jumped in the spiritual realm from many things. So you'll never really be able to. I ain't gonna say you'll never be able to, because you will find out what's the poison in the product, but it'll come with time. It'll come with time. Even me, like a lot of times I'll be looking, I'll be like, bro, you really just okay, you did this accomplishment for yourself, but it's always gonna be this chance that you might mess everything up somehow. That never goes away, I don't think. I mean, I ain't gonna say nah, it goes away, but the phase I'm at in my life is still a thought. But the whole name of the game in life is to work, 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 like Rihanna said, to a point where you reach where your thought is defeated. Oh, I thought I couldn't make it, but I killed that because I actually made it here. I thought I couldn't, whatever, get that baddie, whatever, but I actually did that. So now those thoughts are not actual. They're a thought. They may come up again if I talk to another baddie, whatever. But it's not it's never ever gonna be what it was before I actually accomplished and did what I did. So what I'm saying is like, this is why my uncle one day he told me, he said confidence come from like when you do stuff. Like, like you accomplish this, you accomplish that. And at the time, I'm like, you right, but I feel like you should just like have confidence anyway. But true, we both right. But he was coming from a different type of confidence. And I see where he's coming from now. He coming from a more worldly confidence, and just accomplishment, a physical accomplishment that type of confidence. It's different types of confidence because you could just be kid like confident. You got confidence just because, but that's not really good for much. You know, it's good for a lot, but it's not good for everything. Like you need some real world confidence too. Like what type of money you got, where do you work, what do you do, what do you bring in, those are the type of things that you kind of want to. Uh, it could build a different type of confidence for you, and it could just take a lot of weight off of your life because a lot of weight do come from just like not having the bag. Like it just comes directly from not having the bag. And then you might be confident, but that alone is something that is, it's not strong. It's not really strong enough to break you, but it's strong in the world. It's worldly enough strong, like strong in its own way that you got to pick up on and just, you just got to carry your own weight. And that's something that comes with it. A lot of people got to build themselves up to even be able to do it because it's not overnight, but it's coming. It's coming for a lot of people. It's coming because you understand what I'm telling you in this video. You know and realize and perceive everything I'm saying in this video. As far as staying on task, you could create a task for yourself. Oh, I'm gonna drop 3 videos a day. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do 30 push-ups. And you say it to yourself. But is that really the truth? Is that really the truth, or is it just another uh, thing? You know what I'm saying? Another object that you tell yourself, another affair that you tell yourself that sounds like good. It sounds good. Sounds nice. So if it sounds nice, this is how they train us growing up. If it sounds nice, then it's nice. That's how they trained you. If it sounds nice, so you could lie to yourself. Because if it sounds nice, then it's nice. That's false. If it sounds nice, it could still be devilish. And if it sounds not nice, it could still be godly. And so that paradox that I just gave y'all, that puzzle that I just said, that mystery that I just spoke to you, is for enlightenment. It's not for confusion. See, confusion and enlightenment is kind of like the same paradox. Like it's like black and white. And you could be lost, but you could be found with the same type of thinking. The same type of thinking, but in reverse. So you thought this, but it's you could reverse it. So, like I said, the key is to not only reverse it, but to get better and better and better, and never ever drop the crown again. And uh, master your emotions and your thinking all at the same. Master everything. Your money, master. It ain't nothing that can't be mastered. It's just you ain't a master of it yet. And I'll make sure I say yet because I got 500 subscribers right now. Cool. I'm happy about that. But it was a time where that wasn't even, I never did that before. So it's something that is a milestone for me. But am I going to get stuck and care about that? No, I don't care because I'm trying to conquer the world in general. So I just don't care. And I had to make myself this way to not care about anything. Because the second you care about something, it's all right for a little second. You know what I'm saying? But if you make it oh, I got 500 subscribers, I'm happy, then you still could be happy and reach other things. But then you kind of missing the point. It's funny how life is. A master is not happy that he did anything. He just sees it and he keeps going. And that's hard to explain to a generation of people who were raised on good things, everything good. You can't do nothing if it don't feel good. If it, when it's your birthday, you supposed to blow the candles out and everybody supposed to clap for you. These are the same family members that's going to end up competing with you every year. But 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 I'm just saying, your focus is everything. It's the whole 9 yards. Your focus is the universe. It's everything. And so your focus is whenever you feel an emotion, just know, right? It's that for a split second I was off guard. Doesn't mean you can't be happy with yourself, or when I say happy with yourself, it's not really happy. It's accept. See, we live in a generation where people are happy, but they ain't even accept themselves. But you happy. That's like night and day. That's night and day. So a lot of people, they live in a delusion. Understand that. And it's easy for you to adopt that delusion too. Because you are a product of your environment. But since you love people, you so happy all the time, you're easily gonna adopt the mindset because you spend hours and weeks and years, months and years with a certain demographic of people, and you're never questioning anything because you don't even want to. Because the second you start to question something, you gotta, that laundry list of questioning has to go, keep going, keep going, keep going, because it's decades of hard wiring of being average. I'm trying to tell you, it's being ordinary. I'm about to end this video, but I'm just saying, because the only people in life that's uncommon is the people who made it common to themselves to be uncommon. Like, you ever see someone and they do something exceptionally good, like maybe they know how to dress, but they do it in a way where it's like, bro, this is unreal. This person actually has swag for it. Or somebody's really good at something, basketball, and it's almost like this guy is better than he should be. And it's not even hating, but it's just like, why is he this good at that? You know what I'm saying? And he's not even in the NBA, but he making every shot he throw up or something. And it's like, your mind has the ability to proceed. It has the ability to arise and go beyond what your mind is telling you. That's the limit. But when you hang around certain people that don't know the thing that you curious about, then it kind of, it reinforces the fact that it becomes a needle in a haystack. This is why I don't hang with too many people, because they can't teach me anything. And if they teach me one thing, then they could blind me in every other aspect, but teach me one thing maybe. But I ain't hanging with you just to learn one thing, and then you're gonna blind me in 20 different areas. It's not enough. It's not adequate. That's not adequate learning. If you teach me 20 things and blind me even in one thing, That's not adequate. That's not adequate. We've been trained to believe that that is adequate. Or you learned a lot. You don't even read books. Reading books, I don't even read books, but I've thought to myself that that may be a wise choice. Read a book, even one book a year. Start with one book a year. It could be about something you really love. Then you made reading acceptable to yourself. I got a cookbook. I don't got a Bible. I think I need to get a Bible, but I'm just saying, like, start simple like that with things that you already see as a interest. And then when you're talking to somebody, you can say, "Hey, I read books. Well, I'm reading a book right now." If you tell someone I'm reading a cookbook, I got a vegan cookbook, they might say, "Well, that ain't no real book." But you know, you can read. There's a lot of books out here. My mentor just dropped a book. Books about different stuff. So your book collection. Where's your book collection? Because I like audio books. Cool. Well, maybe I'm just lazy in that department, but I've learned to take on the audio books, before anything else. But at this age, I'm like, man, I'll read a book. I need a bookmark though, because I'm not getting lost. I'm not doing no getting lost. But but I'm one book at a time because I'm not about to be doing. I don't like confusion. I don't like muffledness. It brings me anxiety. So I'll just read one book until I'm done with that book, or at the end of it, then I'll open up another book. But every time we look at bookcases, it brings a feeling of boredom and dreariness because you think of one bookcase and you think of 150 books. All of the books is this big, and it looked like it's gonna be about something that's gonna take years off my life just to read. So you develop this phobia of books, actually. But the way you kill that is by asking yourself, what type of books would I probably be interested in? What topics am I interested in? Forget the word books right now. What type of topics? I like to think about dating. I like to talk about food. I like to talk about this, that, and the third. Then from there you go on. Catch your book. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the librarian or whatever about uh, whatever. Just do little stuff, bro. Like that's all life is about, in my opinion. Just trying little stuff, trying little stuff. And most people ain't living their life like a journey at all. Like I said, you don't really got to go far from your house to be doing that. You just have to have a dope life. Like a dope life isn't defined by nobody but you. At 100%, you. Like because you ever heard the phrase is what you make it. But if you don't practice that phase, then you will not understand the beauty of not needing other people. Because even me, I'm just arising to a point where it's actually factually, you know what I'm saying? And it's because it's take practice. If you've been hanging around people for years, because you could be away from people and then still be having emotions. You still, if you don't heal, then your emotions is still kind of connected to and based upon that stories of your past. But catching your emotions up to date with the date, that makes everything make sense. And you're like, I really don't really care about nobody from my past. It's just that my mind be just wasn't really up to date. I wasn't updated like an iPhone. I wasn't updated because there's people in your life today that deserves a little bit of your time and attention. So what are you doing? Did you text that girl back on Facebook yet? Did you text that guy back that you trying to be cool with, go to the gym with? Like, and if the answer is no, cool. It's no pressure. See, I'm about living a life with no pressure or low pressure, no burden. Pressure is a burden. And then you got young men raised by women, and that's fine. But not every woman is balanced enough to not put too much pressure on that young man. You know what I'm saying? Every family different, but I'm just giving some insight. Pressure can be beautiful or ugly. I'm into therapy, as y'all know. A lot of therapy books is good. I like therapy books. I could definitely get into that. But it's so easy, and this is what this whole video about before I end this video. It's so easy to get caught or lost in loneliness or idleness, to be exact. I remember when I lived down south and it came a point in time where I just one random day was walking to the gym and I'm like, or by the gym, I was walking outside by the gym and I'm like, I kind of froze in time and I'm like, yo, it just everything just slowed down on me and I'm like, yo, I feel lost today, you know. And it's like everything caught up to me. And I'm like, should I be doing right now? I got roommates, I got a job, a little bit of money. What is this I should be doing? And that's why I created these daily schedules that I live by now, because idle mind is a devil workshop. And if you got any type of people around you who's on BS, you're gonna be that guy who gets tangled because you don't have a involvement is involuntary in the world we live in. It's not voluntary. You would think it's voluntary. You would think that it's voluntary. But no, people just throw you into it in their own little slick way. They just act as if and talk and speak as if you're already in their, you know, y'all are in this together type of speech, and it just feels it's meant to hook you emotionally. But like I said, it depends how you grew up, who you raised by, and all that stuff. When you're idle, your emotions are more. Uh, I can't even explain it. It's more of a chance that your emotions will show up in a more craftier and sneak up type of way. So you may just be chilling, not even knowing that at this moment you're thinking, but they call it in therapy field thinking, meaning you think you thinking and thinking alone, but you really feeling something and then you're thinking, but you're not even realizing you're feeling something because all your life you was raised around people who were feelings first type of people, think later type of people. But because it's your mom at a very early age, you thinking that she has logic. When you're a kid, and I'm talking baby, younger years, she has, in your mind, she has to have some logic. She protecting me and stuff like that. You have to have some logic. You grow up to realize that that's actually not true at all. At all, but they have the ability in this society to play both roles. And that's where you have to wiggle out of that as you grow. Wiggle yourself out of that. Like I said, via things like therapy. Top things would be therapy. I even say meditation and yoga and journaling. And like I said, even if you change, but your environment stays the same, because you don't got the money to buy a new house and move out yet, all that's going to do is force the devil to go even crazier and work even harder to just try to just do everything. And it may take years, months, weeks, but if you don't stay on your ish, this is why I say post ugly, sad, mad, whatever you feeling in that day, post anyway. Because the devil ain't gonna play with you. When the devil don't care. Life don't care. It's gonna do what it's gonna do without permission. So you gotta be an unpermissible man. Like, I don't need permission. I don't gotta look cute for y'all. I don't gotta look fancy for y'all. I don't gotta look like whatever I'm traumatically assuming I'm supposed to do. Like, no, I don't gotta do nothing. I just gotta show up and I just gotta play my best game. And if I play my best game and I watch the video back and I say I don't like it, I don't even watch videos back. I don't edit. I don't watch videos back. I mean, I don't really got time to do that for all the time. Sometimes, if I'm making a real vlog and all that stuff, but I think it's more important to muscle your way through stuff if you know you're doing what you love to do. Because when you muscle your way through stuff that you don't really love to do, it'll expose at the end of the day because you don't really love it. And then when the money don't stop and then this happens, it'll kind of find a way to weasel you out of the job. But when you're doing something and you happy with it and you at least content with it, then all you gotta do is really keep going. And eventually it'll snowball effect and then you'll be good. But that idle time in between, you gotta fill it up with stuff because it's idle time. And the idle time is literally the devil's workshop. It's literally the devil's workshop. And that's something I was told at a young age. I believed it at a young age. I still believe it. But it has an ability to like slip your mind. And you just, we sleep on that. The devil's workshop is an idle's mind. Because then we got to ask ourselves, what's an idle's mind? Because you could think thoughts and still be idle. You could be thinking, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But you still idle because you're not necessarily in touch with what you're telling yourself. This is why journaling is important. It makes you feel in touch with what you're saying and what you're writing. When you're writing, you can feel it every letter more profoundly or intensely or whatever I want to call it. And when you can feel those letters and you can feel those words, it brings more excitement and it brings more intensity. And when you feel those words, it just brings calmness because that's what you need in this season. So I'm about to get out of here, man. But before I go, I'm gonna say the last thing. You need calmness And the synonyms for calmness is composure, serenity, and peace, tranquility, and self-possession. When you're in these moments of calmness, though, you could clearly see the things that kind of have the ability to challenge that calmness comes more clearer, right? But even when in that clarity, which is very important to have clarity, life doesn't stop because you see it clearly. You see it clearly, but time doesn't stop. Things are still moving and going on, so you have to like be like in tune. The name of the game is staying in tune with everything. Even when I flirt with women, I'm like, I noticed that 9 times out of 10, most men lose when they are not in tune with that conversation no more. And it happens really quick before your eyes because women have the ability, especially in this society, to enmesh with a man emotionally. If you're a man that is used to using your emotions, which that's on you to gain the power over, because it's in that difference between you and the woman that makes her. Y'all talked to a woman this morning. She was like, I was talking to a woman this morning. She was like talking about how I sounded all masculine and stuff like that. And it was just funny to me because I'm like, I already know I sound masculine. And like I said, I'm not surprised. I'm not elated by that compliment, but thank you. But I'm not, because I already know what I'm up to. See, so I feel different than that. The next guy will be like, "Oh, word, I sound." Da, da, da. Nah, I'm cool because prior to talking to you, I was working on myself all month. So I'm already expecting you to think whatever you were thinking. But see, like I said, as soon as you get in your feelings, the situation and the chemistry of the situation it changes. Like even if you get in good feelings, like chemistry changes because she moved you, but you didn't move her. And just like chess, when I'm playing chess, I have to stay in control. Otherwise, I don't got it. There's no in between. There's no gray area. And until men master that, until men master 24/7 of my day, I am thinking of ways to master self. I want to say control, but it's like it really is control. But in what way? Emotionally, mentally, physically. Because when you talk to a woman and she get to using her emotions and riling up this type of spirit and stuff like that, it's like if you're an emotional guy, you're gonna feel that, or a sensitive guy, whatever. But you really want to stay indifferent to that, calm, cool, collected, detached. That's when they really hear the masculinity in your voice when you're detached. That difference is felt, and vice versa. That excitedness that you have or enthusiastic to talk to her is also felt. And it's the opposite. It's like something that it creates like this repellent. Like, oh, I don't want to talk to this guy. Like, it's distasteful. It doesn't taste the same. It's almost wicked for the man to be excited that much. And it's true. And the more you can emote with the non-feeling and the coolness and the indifference, the more you can allow her to be emotional, because that's what women really are. And you want to permit women to be that. You want to approve it. You want to give them that. And this is for the fellas right now. You want to give them that because a lot of the time, y'all guys raised by women, y'all accidentally take on some of that fluffy stuff, and you don't want to be like soft as a pillow out here. So you got to really just detach. Because trust me, those excitement around women and stuff like that, you get that from mommy. That don't come from man. That come from woman. So you want to make sure that you get that out of you, because that's some old soft stuff right there, and that's just not. It's not how we operate. That's not how we live. So if it ain't how you want to live, you don't have to. That's what this video is about. You just don't have to. They could think you mean. They could think whatever they want to think, and it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to get on you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to get on you, because it doesn't have to be on board with you, because guess what? I'm my own person. It's what they gotta understand when they talk to you every time. It's how you get women. Every time you enter a conversation with them, the only thing you should be mentally thinking about is like, I'm different than you and everybody. Like I'm something else. And that could be highly attractive to women because you're a mystery. But like I said, everything I talk about, I could go into more and more detail on. But right now, I'm going to keep it short because I'm crossing from talking about this to talking about that now. And I want to stay on one thing. But motivation a lot of time also come from knowing that you could do something. Sometimes you can know you could do something, because I go through this a lot. You know you could do something, but it still feel like you be losing at it sometime, or it don't always it go the way you want it to go to a certain percentage of the time. But that little or lesser percentage still bother you, because you and your feelings. That's poison. You should not care or acknowledge that lesser percentage. If I, God forbid, something happened to me, and I said to myself, or the doctor said, I thought I was gonna die, and the doctor said, you have a 60% chance of living and a 50% chance of not living. I'm gonna be scared only because I don't know the doctor. I don't know if they just playing with my head. I don't know what they up to. But besides that, I got 10 more percent to live than the others. So why am I gonna focus on that 50%? Because we tend to pay attention to what we're scared of more than what could go right. Because we got to train ourselves to only focus on what could go right, and let whatever might not go right, let that exist, but don't let that get on you. You know what I'm saying? That's not none of my business what might go wrong. It was only my business up till now. I thought about, as a man, we should have thought about all the things that could go wrong before we came outside, before we did this, before we did that. Before we approached that girl, we should have thought of 90% of the things that could go this way or that way. But most people just walk directly into the woman, and then they say, oh, I don't understand why I can't pick up this woman. Of course you don't understand why you can't pick up that one woman out of trillion of women on earth. You talk to one woman you're not gonna know exactly what it is about her in particular that you couldn't outwit because she was a in particular person, one particular person with her own traumas, her own background, her own beliefs, her own everything. And then on top of the fact you're just not gonna get every woman. So it's just like you're bound to take a loss. And the key, like I said, is communication. Because instead of trying to always pursue a woman, a lot of time you just need to talk to her sometimes to dampen your chances that because if you always spitting game, it's good, but it's like same time, it's like not realistic. I see game as something that's like a backup, like it's a backup thing because I just see it as a backup thing that could be pulled to the forefront when I need it. If you're worthy of it, if I want to make you smile and stuff like that, if I see something in you and I see something I want to do that. But besides that, it's like having a gun, a tool, right? I only gonna use it when I need to. Other than that, it's stored away. Because a lot of situations ain't calling for that. Just like with women, a lot of situations you really don't even need to do that. You just need to talk to them and put yourself around them, and then they'll get to recognize them that they like you. Because you should be focused on your mission so much. You really don't got time for women, but you try to make time for women. That's what I be doing. I be trying to make the time so the situation could become its own thing. But even if it does that, the mission ain't stopping. I don't care. And so this video was ultimately about keeping track of your mind and your thoughts because if it's 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, and four weeks in a month, then I'm really curious to know how many times am I being distracted in a day? How many times in a week am I being sidetracked? Even if it's a small, minute thing, how many times is that happening? Because it be the little tiny itty bitty things that get you feeling away. And at this point, I despise that. I really do. Because, like I said, man, it's so much we could be doing. So much we could be doing in life. And if you don't see that, then that's gonna be something that can it's confusion within itself. Already. It's already confusion there. You just got people gonna push you into your own confusion because you already see it from a blind beginning. You wanna look at it like, nah, it's 24 hours. What am I doing today? How can how can I do this and do that? And that's how you wanna kinda see it, but really take time and work and effort to really change that. I would call it a what's that word? Um, default setting. Let me look at the synonym for the word default. Default. Okay, so default means revert or lapse or lack. So when I look at these words, neglect or failure, so default is the last thing. So when all fails or all neglects or all whatever, what's your failure setting or your neglect setting? Meaning when you neglect everything else, what's the setting that you have there at the base, at the what is there? It should be a feeling of, if you're gonna have feelings, man, a feeling of, because right now I'm not really feeling anything. It's more so this peaceful, stoic ability that I've cultivated by trying to. I wanted to have this, and when I didn't have it so much, I wanted, and I also adopted a therapist that I watch on YouTube that has a very great stoic personality. So little tools to help me to stay in that stoicism and kind of juggle that, knowing that you live in a society in the world that just always, I can't even say they want to do it, but it's always there. So you have to gain what you would call resilience and resistance. That is always its own thing. And you just gotta have tools. You gotta be smart. You gotta know that the devil is a real thing. And you just gotta block stuff out. Work harder in the face of an enemy. Because you just know that it's always going. You gotta wake up and smell the coffee at a lot of situations. So I'm talking maturity. I'm talking a lot of stuff right now. You gotta watch your surroundings too. Be mindful. Be mindful. Just because we don't live in the jungle and you can't get eaten by a lion no more and bears and stuff, it's the same world. It's the same world. Hunting is not just a sport, it's actual. It's the thing. Be careful. Take heed to, like I said, literally your surroundings. And think for yourself and for others. That's the part that get crafty with when it comes to it all, because you look. I, I know what I'm saying right now could sound funny, but it's so real that you got to think for yourself and for others. And in terms of therapy, talking right now, because when it comes to just life in general, you really don't gotta care about people at all. But therapeutically speaking, it's wise to think well-roundedly. That's why you gotta practice it. Otherwise, you will be able to do it overnight because you're changing the way you see things and having a more well-rounded perspective in each interval of the day, and learning to be more stoic and present, because that small crevice between you being out of the present and into the present moment has always been a debate. It's always been something for you to, even if y'all don't aren't aware of it and have never noticed that. Society changed because look, if life was perfect for you or better for you, you would have always had a voice. You would have always been able to speak your mind. You would have always been able to just be animated and free and do whatever you want to do. But a lot of y'all are born in situations where it has always been some inner turmoil for you to just be outspoken and just honest and just so you becoming that or doing that is more of a quote unquote, it seemed like a challenge to people instead of them taking it as, you know, uh, just something to adapt to. And if people aren't adapting to what you wish for yourself after the age of 18, then you honestly have to get away from those people. That's just what it is, and it can be it can be very challenging to do that, to get away from people. But it ain't impossible. So if it ain't impossible, then that mean it is possible. So that mean you just gotta think to yourself uh, and judge like, how can I get my own place, or how can I, you know what I'm saying? What do you have to do, step by step, basically? You know, it could only be 5 steps. What you gotta do, what you gotta start with. And I'm about to post this video, but sometimes just posting a little video like this is just all you need to do to push you a little bit more, because life is just weird like that. You know, it just is what it is. It's rules, but then it's like also like within the rules, freedom to do something that is individualistic. So like that's why I stay away from people, bro, because they'll kill off your individuality, even if it's by accident. You know, they really good at snipping away on your individuality. They might not consciously do it, but they really good at judging you, or you know, whatever. The mind is a real wicked thing. And like I said, most of y'all, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us starting late in life. Like we supposed to be out of our mom crib, we supposed to be living in a mansion or something. But reality is you're not supposed to be around certain people, bro. You're not supposed to be around certain stuff. It's like that's why I say life is weird, because it's like you are supposed to be around it because it's your life, but then you're not supposed to be around it because in a perfect world that would never happen. But in a real world, it did. So what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that's just annoying. But it's something that you gotta face and conquer and take pride in and accept and just roll with the punches. Like think more, talk less. Sometimes, sometimes you wanna. It's crafty. Like I said, it's really crafty, and you just want to think, bro. Use your imagination. I'm definitely about to get out of here, man. See you on the next video, man. I'm done with this video, and yeah, don't let none discourage y'all. Time can discourage you. I'm happy I reached 500 subscribers, but this even took a little bit of time, bro. But it's like sometimes you think to yourself, like, you don't know how nothing gonna feel when you. I'm happy I had that epiphany earlier. I'm like, even if it feel bad to do something, take it and just keep going. And that's why I'm where I am right now, because I had a YouTube channel before this one, but I told myself then that I'm not gonna, after I create another channel, I'm not doing that again. Now I will, but I'm just saying, like, the mindset was, I don't care where I'm getting my subs from. I don't care what I'm doing and how I'm getting what I'm getting. I'm standing with it and sticking with it because I'd rather succeed in due time than for me to actually care about someone judging what I got going on, because I always know that life is transactions. So even if it start off ugly, it could end in a way that was wonderful. And when you think like that, you understand life, because you understand that nothing is forever. And if nothing's forever, then what you talking about? You dig what I'm saying? If nothing's forever, then you got to embrace the good, bad, and the ugly, because that may change into the beautiful, wonderful, uh, and whatever. It just it just always might change. Sometimes I look at my channel, I'll be like, oh, my channel it don't look so good to me. But then sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, I'm on the map. At least I got a channel. At least it's different views. So, and they fluctuate sometimes. So you want to just learn, like I said earlier, how to detach and just not care and just stay pushing on the road to 1K, whatever the case may be. Just push. Because at the end of the day, bro, when they pay off, then it's literally paid off. Like, it's not nobody who could say, like, bro, you ain't really doing nothing or trying, because literally you really did. And whatever God got for you, and I'm gonna bring it to God now, because sometimes he really is the only one who could logicalize something like this, because we live in a logic type of world, but it's not all. It's God isn't a logical man. Supernatural. So some things, it's just is what it is. It just is what it is. That's your calling. That's what it is. Then nobody can stop that specific thing. They might can stop 9 things out of 10, but they're not stopping that 10th thing, because it's literally unstoppable. So that's just, I think the man who could accept that is has a mind on his shoulders, because he could see things. Now, but I'm about to end this video, man. Uh, I want to do a little bit more journal and shadow work anyway, so I'm about to end it and probably do a little bit of that. And like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought, what y'all felt about what I spoke on. And yeah, man. Yeah. I be feeling like I just got a staller mentality in general. Even ending videos and stuff is all, I don't know what that is. Let me see. Let me I'm about to end this though, but I'm just saying, like, what is something inside of me don't be wanting to just end stuff. And you know what it be? Now that I'm thinking about it, I get to it real quickly on what I think it is. I don't be liking the close stuff that I feel like I hadn't perfected. Like, this video feels kind of like lethargic, doesn't feel like my best, whatever the case may be. And it's just like, when they get like that, it's because I'm judging, right? I'm judging. And everything I just spoke to y'all, even though I spoke it, doesn't necessarily mean I actually have perfected the feeling, or haven't perfected the ability to not need a feeling, which is important. sometimes you don't need a feeling. And your mind is so used to feeling that your mind wants to, it doesn't find a answer without an emotion to validate the thing you're thinking. And that is dangerous because that's very, to me, that's feminine. That's really how women operate. And that comes from you being raised by women, a woman. Because women need validation to their, for them to do and make decisions. Sometimes they need a validation, and that's feminine. We don't need validation. We need uh sometimes men just need to act without any validation. If that's how you survive, by just acting without any validation. It's just got to be just from A to B with certain things. And I'm at a phase where that's kind of crazy to me because it's me realizing that that's the actual psyche that we have to have. Like if you're in the army, you can't really be thinking too much. You gotta move. That's how you gotta be. And that's two different worlds, right? It's two different whole things. So training yourself to just be more cutthroat, right? You're supposed to be ruthless. As a man, be ruthless. I get in my feelings about stupid stuff. That's how they set it up. I don't know if it's in the food. I don't know where it's come from. It's hard to detect why you feel. It's just too much, bro. And so we practicing learning to be detached from our emotions, but also be stoic and quick thinking and just move. Now sometimes I'm about to win a chess game and I'm like, I don't want to end this guy so quick. Let me just play around with him and just I'll end it because I already won. But like, and then it's like I got to the point where now I'm like, bro, I just want to get to the next player. Let me hurry up and close this guy out and win the game, and then I go on. Two different sides of me, right? And I think it's important that we master that one side and use the other side as just every once in a blue moon you may just be feeling that way. But 95 to 100% of the time, you're ruthless as a man. Ruthless. I'm not going to tolerate a drop of poison in my life from me. If someone else do something to me, then they did it. They did that. But if I'm doing it too, then Houston, we really have a problem because that's feminine. And if I see it as feminine, then I have to see about that. When a girl break up with you, when a girl cheat on you, you break up with her. You don't make room for uh, reoccurrences and all that stuff. You just go with what it is. You know what I'm saying? When you say this friend is a bad friend, you don't try to think about it more or further. You just move. But that's how you got to train yourself to be in a world that trains you not to think like that. Be nice. Treat people equal. Everybody deserves a chance. No, no, I don't think so. I think a lot of people would prolong their lives without that thought. Everybody don't deserve a chance. But that's just what I feel at this point. That's just what I see it as. I don't feel. That's what I see it as. That's what it equals. You know what I'm saying? It equals that. So when you wait, you give room to the devil a lot of the time. When you wait, you know this is the answer, you know that, but you waited. Just think about all the animals in nature that waited. It's probably the number one cause of death in nature. Like, and we live in nature today. So think about it. You thinking to yourself, how do I practice the skill of not waiting? That's literally what that's called. When I'm playing chess with somebody, I know I could win right now, but I want to do what do I want to do? I want to act all big, like I gotta be nice and forgive this guy and just let him just crush him. You know the 48 laws of power: crush your enemies totally. But most people, I mean, everybody's capable of that, but most people are gonna act incapable of it or feel something that's gonna toil with their ability to crush the opponent totally. And that's a weakness, it's a frailty. It's a frailty, and it's something that has to be looked at. Because, like, I'm sorry if I see it, but it's like the question that bears is if you could have did it, then why didn't you do it? As a coach, that's what I'm asking. Oh, you could have hit that on the first night. Oh, excuse my French. You know, I'm on my holy, my holiness now. But I'm just saying, if you could have did that on the first night, she'll never respect you the way you want her to respect you again. If she was with that and you wasn't catching on because you had some lostness that you ain't know how or what to say or whatever. So the ability to close, man, close without pity. When you could do that 10 out of 10 times, then you know you got some game. You got some game. You don't need affirmation. Now, affirmation is good. I like it. I use it as a tool, but only from myself is where I feel like it's really foundational. When I get affirmations from other people, they put me in a better spirit. But when it comes from you, it's tailor made. It's exact. In my opinion, it's really holy then because it came from you. You know what I'm saying? It's really holy at that point. It's really divine. Like, what made me pick this word? What made the mystery is there. God works in mysterious ways, so it's holy. Um, but like I said, there's never no telling why you stopped and paused when maybe you should have just closed the situation. Maybe I'm thinking too much and it's a spiritual thing instead. And I'm trying to make a logical answer for a spiritual thing. And maybe God freezes people just like the devil freezes people. And maybe he makes you wait instead of act in a situation where you would have crushed yourself. So maybe even with the littlest things in life, he slows you down. I don't know, man. Because life is a mystery within itself. And even if I crack codes and answers, I'm never going to have 100% of them. Ever. So I'm about to end this video. And hopefully, I think this is a good video, but hopefully the next video has a little bit more clarity, directiveness, and just because I like my videos to be more nice and neat, and but I don't, I'm just as y'all can see, I overthink, and I think I'm going through some form of a healing process, and because of that, it's gonna be just a journey with me. You know what I'm saying? If you made it this far, then I rock with you. Like, comment, and subscribe. But you know that you're in for a lot more excitement in the future. Cause my life really been in different phases that y'all never seen. I was driving for Uber like last year or something, then DoorDash. And having y'all with me doing that would have been exciting. It would have been fun. Maybe I'll pick that back up. Matter of fact, yeah, that's the goal, man. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's my. It's what is it? May, January, February, March, April, May. I'm gonna write in my monthly goals. I'm gonna have to grab a car though. I'm gonna have to get a car. I don't know where I put my phone that quick. Right in my pocket. But yeah, my monthly goals is to really to grab a car. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta exit the weekly life and go into the daily life. I mean, and go into the monthly life. And you gotta say, man, like I want to have a car before it get cold outside. So it's April 30th, May, June, July, August. My birthday's in August, yeah. So shout out to the Leo gang. Leo gang. But yeah, I got in here. I got goals, and then they say B day, and I really want to get a car for my B day. The power of writing things down, man. Forget that. House, car, house, man. For my B day, I ain't even put it in my goals. I put it under B day. So that's August, yeah. That's August. And August is how many months from now? What is it's April, May, June, July, August. That's 4 months. So it's no excuses. And I'm one that can tolerate a car that doesn't have too much. It don't gotta be new. It don't gotta be, it don't gotta. But I prefer, you know what I'm saying, to have a standardized, situation. So, you know, we gonna see what happened with that. But what I'm saying is, I used to do Uber Eats and DoorDash, and I know a YouTuber that I'm thinking about right now who, he vlogged the road while he driving, and it's a nice vlog. You know what I'm saying? He show you how much money he made at the end of the day. It's a cool vlog. So just another way to, vibe with your people and just, But we gonna see everything right now. Just chilling, man. About to get out of here. More content coming soon. This feel good, man. I don't know why this feels so good right now. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here though. I'll be making these videos like lives, and these just be regular videos. I should make these videos. I should be on live. It's Sunday. Tomorrow gonna be Monday, and I'm trying to get more dope, like at making goals. Like I feel like even when I bring it to the dating side of us, for the fellas, whatever, you should have um, you should have let me put dating goals in May because we in May right now. May about to be, I mean April. April about to be over though. But in dating, the dating goal, man, for every month, I'm gonna give y'all a goal because I'm setting one for myself right now. Every month, you should have. I always say have weekly because four weeks in a month. Weekly, you should have a certain amount of women coming over, and then daily. So daily, weekly, you should have because it's 7 days in a week, and you gotta have time for your goals. So like I say, 2 girls a week. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. That's the standard. Like, I mean, you could be mingling with girls, you could be exchanging numbers, but if you're not inviting them over to your place like often, then I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That's kind of where you're gonna have turbulence. I'm trying to spell the word turbulence, disorder, and yeah, uproar, and whatever the case is. Because I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why that's gonna bring bad to you. Because there's this new assumption that you have to go on a date first, and that's like almost like what it's doing is it's conveying a blur that used to not be there for guys who used to go outside and just used to have fun with their life. Now you think that you gotta have the bag and you gotta like earn some type of like attraction that if you was to just go outside and they was to see you, they will automatically give that to you, or they wouldn't even give it to you because people can't choose who they're attracted to. But if you're not around the women, then they can't choose anything. But what I'm saying is, no matter where you getting y'all women from, whether you getting it from Facebook, Instagram, da 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 da, no matter where you mingling and doing your thing, you should be inviting two good. I'm not saying that you need to have like the goal is 2 women should be over my house a week, but you're daily inviting. So like you're often you're inviting every time you talk to a girl and you slide her from point A to texting. When you get to the phase of texting, the first text message, second, by the time you get to I would say the fifth or seventh text message. See, when you taking a girl on a date or setting up a date, you set that up on a third text message. You don't waste no time. But when you want to invite a chick to the crib, you just do like the fifth or the seventh message. Sometimes the third. So third, let me tell y'all a little secret. This is why a lot of guys can't win because they gonna get caught up in what do she think or what does society think or whatever right here. But the secret is you got to be willing to lose them. Got to be willing to lose them due to this. Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. 95, 95% of the women you're talking to isn't the one. So it's just a game. It's just a game. If it's just a game, then it's just a game. It's nothing. It's just because it's called the dating game doesn't distinguish it from like being a game. The same way money and everything else just a game. So the goal is to take it and extract your emotions out of it, so you could play. And what I'm saying is that 90% of the women isn't even gonna be the one. So if you know 90% isn't gonna be the one, it's wiser to reinforce. It's wiser to reinforce my hypothesis, right? Otherwise, if I don't reinforce my hypothesis that I'm speaking right now, otherwise, I would never know who the one really was, right? Because I'm not necessarily even in the game or in. So you could be texting or calling women or FaceTiming, which a lot of y'all probably doing, wasting y'all life and your time. Or you could be getting straight to the point. But you can't take or lead a chick through no points if you ain't constantly taking women and leading them through no points. You're spending months with talking on FaceTime with one girl, or even weeks or whatever. It could be shorter than a month, but it's still not the amount of time that somebody wiser would be using on something that could possibly not amount to anything in your life. Because I honestly believe that people who are meant for you ain't going nowhere. And I seen this even with friendships that I told y'all in the other video. I think I forget. I don't know if y'all I posted that one, but certain people I don't even text back because I'm busy, and they stick around because we meant to be in each other's life, friendship wise. And it's the same thing with women that I found. But if that's what I think, right? Because we're past the point in age of just thinking stuff. We're gonna see if what I think is true. Because if I find what I think is true, I gotta experiment, like Thomas